Welcome back, everybody, to the Road to Happy Valley. I'm your host, Noah Malone. Another thing that I saw them do a couple times with him was line him up at running back next to the quarterback in shotgun sets, which is something that we saw Nick Singleton and Katron do and utilize them in the passing game from there as far as like swings and wheel routes and stuff. So my NFL player comp for Devonte Ross is Tyler Lockett. I think that they are similar in size. Welcome back, everybody, to the Road to Happy Valley. I'm your host, Noah Malone. Today, I want to do a player breakdown on one of the guys that Penn State has gotten through the transfer portal, wide receiver Devonte Ross. Want to give you guys some more information about him, more background, where he came from, who I think his NFL player comp is, and we can kind of go from there. So to start off, Devonte Ross, 5'11", 161, 2024 stats, 76 catches, 1,043 yards, 11 touchdowns. I mentioned it in my other video. He was first team all Sun Belt wide receiver, and he was second team all Sun Belt as a return specialist. So he does bring that dynamic to Penn State as well, which is definitely great to have. Couple highlights from his season as far as his bigger games. Florida A&M, 11 catches, 229 yards, 3 touchdowns. He broke the Troy single game receiving yards record with 229. Pretty impressive stuff. Against Iowa, Big Ten team, normally solid on defense. Translated for that game as well. 5 catches, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns, 77-yard punt return for a touchdown as well. And then against Arkansas State, 11 catches for 126 yards. So he does have some of those high volume games, 11 catches in 2 of them. 6 of the 12 games, he had 90 plus yards and scored in 8 of the 12 games that he played in 2024. He does bring that outside deep threat to Penn State. 78% of the snaps that he played in were on the outside last season. One of the things that I noticed while watching film on him is that he was able to beat bigger corners while at Troy, which is very important when you go from playing in the Sun Belt to playing in the Big Ten. They have good football down there at the Sun Belt, not trying to take anything away from them, but it's a little bit different when you get to a higher caliber playing against Big Ten corners and whatnot. So being able to do that and being able to beat bigger corners while being a smaller guy at wide receiver is definitely important. And I think that that's something that will translate when he gets to Happy Valley and when he ends up playing against the Ohio States, the Oregons, the Michigans, etc. But at the end of the day, you still got to prove that you can do it. So I do think he's a guy that you can plug into the offense on day one, and he will have an impact. He definitely has the speed to add another element to the offense in 2025. I saw some of the things that they did with him at Troy was they used him a lot on wide receiver screens, which I thought was a good sign. I'd like to start to see Penn State incorporate that. He does, like I said, have that speed, have that ability to pick up yards after the catch, which just adds a completely different dynamic to you as a wide receiver. Another thing that I saw them do a couple times with him was line him up at running back next to the quarterback in shotgun sets, which is something that we saw Nick Singleton and Katron do and utilize them in the passing game from there as far as like swings and wheel routes and stuff. So Troy did use him that way, which I thought was refreshing to see that he was able to do that and have success. I do think as well that it's worth mentioning that Tez Johnson, the standout wide receiver from Oregon, also came from Troy, and he ended up translating very well from coming from a Sun Belt school to the Big Ten. He had a really good season, was electric on that Oregon offense, and if that's a sign of anything to come for Devonte Ross, I think we're going to be really excited and really happy that we were able to land a guy like him in the transfer portal. It's kind of crazy, two guys like that coming from Troy. Not really something that you hear about a lot, but really cool nevertheless. So my NFL player comp for Devonte Ross is Tyler Lockett. I think that they are similar in size. Ross stands at 5'11", 161. I know that at least this is what Kansas State had. That Tyler Lockett was listed at 5'11", 175. So Lockett was a little bit heavier. And the combine, Tyler Lockett ran a 4.4, pretty fast. I think that Devonte will run that or better. I think he's probably a little bit faster. Tyler Lockett was a dynamic wide receiver, dynamic in the special teams aspect as well. When he got to the NFL, he did a lot of punt returns, a lot of kickoff returns. As he got older, that aspect of his game started to fade away a little bit, but I do still think the comparison is there. Both smaller guys, both really dynamic in the passing game, really dynamic in special teams, are really good stretching the field, reliable hands. But yeah, I think that's a pretty solid NFL comp for Devonte. But yeah, if there's anything else that you guys are looking for as far as player breakdowns, if there's somebody in particular that you guys want me to talk about, more than happy to do that. But I think Devonte is going to be great for Penn State in this offense. I think he's going to add that deep threat ability. I think they're going to be able to move him around a lot, and I think he's just going to add another layer to the special teams unit. Really excited to get him on campus and see what he's capable of next season. As you guys know, follow me on Twitter at Noah Malone 10. Yeah, let me know if there's any other guys that you guys. I'm going to continue to work through some of the players. Kyron Hudson will probably be my next guy, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Tyler Lockett as the player comp. All right, thanks everyone. We are.